Welcome back to the Becoming Table Talk. We're so excited for you to be here because this is the space where we sit down, we breathe deeper, and talk honestly about leading with clarity, confidence, and connection, even when the world tries to pull us in every direction.
A-
Okay?
Absolutely, Larissa. I'm Sean, recreation therapist and empowerment coach. I help women understand how their energy shapes their leadership.
Mm. Hi, I'm Latrice, an executive assistant and structure strategist. I believe systems are one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself as a leader.
And I'm Crystal. I'm an occupational therapist and creative strategist. So I help women design workflows that support creativity and not chaos.
Yes.
And I'm Dr. Larissa, therapist, leadership coach, and co founder of Sisters in Healing. Look, this table is where BIPOC women come to talk leadership, identity, purpose, and all the internal shifts that make our external success possible. So
Mhm.
let's get into today's conversation. This one here is necessary because we are talking about systems.
Mhm.
It is the structures that keep your leadership from collapsing just under the weight of the constant decision making.
Mhm.
Before you imagine spreadsheets and all, like your rigid policies, like you need policies, right? Because those are the guidelines. That's what keeps people in line and in order. You want to pause.
Mhm.
Is the system controlling you or is it freeing you? Because what we want it to do is to liberate you to be able to move and your team to move in the way that you need them to. Because if we're forced to decide everything every day,
Mhm.
that's so draining. It's so
Yes.
tiring. Then why do you have a team,
Yeah.
right? Your
Mhm.
energy will be drained, and then the weight of the leadership will take you out,
Mhm.
right? So systems lower the pressure, so you can truly rise in what is your purpose. So I want us to dig in and talk about why leaders even need systems,
Mm.
right? So why do we need them? Because when you can be in alignment with who you are, then your system will show you how you're going to operate.
Absolutely.
Without the system, you could be the strongest leader and you will still end up exhausted and reactive.
Absolutely, Larissa. And it will definitely show up in your body.
Mm.
No doubt. And when everything is ad hoc, your nervous system stays on alert. It's sort of like having a ringing in your ear. It's like that all the alarms start to go off. It's constantly, you feel like you're in a constant uh, state of bracing for the impact,
Mm.
right? And because of that demand, systems can bring calm because they create predictability. And I know sometimes we think that it doesn't show, but you can see it through your nonverbal body communication. And so it's present and you need to be aware of it.
Mhm.
That's right, Sean. Nonverbal communication is exactly where you can see it, you know, when a person is talking or communicating with you. Communication improves immediately when systems are in place. When
Mhm.
people don't know their process, that's when they improvise.
Mhm.
And sometimes the improvisation is not necessarily the goal that you want to achieve, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's not, and they don't do it because they don't care.
Right.
They do it because they're just not clear on the end result.
Right.
That's
So yeah, go
accurate.
ahead. Go
No,
ahead,
I'm saying
Kristen.
that's totally accurate. Like you're
Hmm.
thinking about
Yeah.
that, like wow, like whew, good Lord.
Yeah. If we don't know the end goal and I haven't communicated that,
Hmm.
then you're doing a thing, I'm doing a thing, and
Right.
it's not the same. It's not the same goal.
Right.
Yeah.
And then people think like, oh gosh, if I have a system, I can't be creative. No, that's not true. Systems
Right.
don't kill creativity, they actually support it. So
Hmm.
when your mind isn't cluttered with logistics, all the many things that we have to do, You
Yeah.
finally have that room to create, you have that room to think, and you can problem solve. So systems
Yeah.
really help you to just organize all of that thinking versus just everything just coming in and flying in at the same time. Like, okay, I got to do this, and this. Nope.
Right.
You don't have to. If you organize it, you can think about it and you can be clear on it.
Absolutely.
Right. We're always talking about sustainable leadership, and so systems are your like stair steps.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's your you know to take step 1, step 2, step 3. Maybe we have to skip over step 4, but
Right.
it allows for you to have the sustainable leadership that we are always wanting you to work towards. And so I I think it's always good to really give examples and point out like when you as a leader are relying on people's effort
Mm-hmm.
rather than structure, how that can lead you into burnout.
Mm.
Well, when everything depends on willpower or memory, and let me just put a little piece in about memory. As I'm maturing in age, sometimes that's a weak spot for me, but I keep on working on it. And your energy drains faster.
Mhm.
So micro decisions stack up and they can steal your clarity. In other words, if everybody's doing their own thing, and you're trying to come together as one group to make it work, you got chaos. It is total chaos. So you have to at least be on the same page so that the outcome is beneficial to everyone that it's going to impact. So systems are adaptable and they are functional.
That's right. When there's no system in place or processes, leaders tend to hover, and that is micromanaging by accident. Okay.
Is it
And
really?
it's not because we don't want to. I mean, it's not because we want to, but it's because we don't trust that we've communicated what we said we wanted to do. So to avoid that, you know, just be clear on your end goal, communicate that well, and then trust that it'll get done with the team that you have. That lowers anxiety on both sides.
Absolutely. Yes, it does.
And that you talk about like the consistency, right? So if your team is inconsistent, the performance is inconsistent, and it's not beneficial, and it's probably not productive, right? So when the
Right.
expectations aren't clear, each person feels a gap in a different way. Because I know my brain works and operates a different way. Because I'm always on that creative realm. So I'm like, oh, we can do this, this, and this. But that might not have been the vision or the mission, right? So when you have that
Right.
systems, it gives the team a clear rhythm. And it's a shared understanding of what excellent looks like, not what I think it may look like. But if we have that shared vision, everybody is on that same page and we know, okay, this is how we do it. And I like to use a simple checklist because it eliminates the repetition of like mistakes or creating new mistakes. How about that?
How about that?
Yeah, I mean, all those things, just listening to it is tiring. Like my brain is like, oh my gosh, I'm micromanaging and trying to decide for everybody. Like
Yeah.
you can't keep that up. And
Yeah.
so let's look at ways that if to build a system that's going to make it easier. Like at the end of the day, that's what this is about. We're trying to make your
Yes.
job
Right.
and the role as the leader to make it as easy as possible, right?
Right.
Because the easier it is, the more likely you're going to be consistent and keeping up with it. And so
Absolutely.
how do you build a system that will feel like it is supporting the end goal rather than like suffocating? Like sometimes I think when we hear systems, everyone's like, oh gosh,
Right.
like
Yeah.
I'm going to be
We are.
locked in.
Right, right,
Right.
right.
I'm going to be
Right.
locked into something and I got to
Yeah.
stay within four walls. And
Right.
especially for somebody like me who is always like, I need to be here. I need to be
Yeah.
free.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
in actuality, a system is going to allow for that to have more space and more time for you to do that rather than
Absolutely.
suffocating you. And
Mm-hmm.
so here are 4 steps. We have 4 steps that will help you to create a structure that will reflect your identity
Mm-hmm.
along with your leadership style.
Ladies, I got a
Okay.
question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is this the moment that we pull out our pens and notebooks?
absolutely.
That works for me.
Come
Hint,
to the
hint,
table
ladies.
with
Thank
your
Hint,
you.
hint.
I
notebook
gotta get my
and your
Yes.
pencil,
pen.
or in the new age, I
Yes.
think we're dating ourselves.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
Come with your computer, your
Yes.
tablet,
Yes.
whatever,
Yes.
and ready to
Yes.
go.
Yes.
Oh
So the
boy.
first step is identify your repeated pain points. Okay, that's a lot of P's, but you caught what I was saying. Your stress points show you exactly where a system is needed.
Mm.
If you step back through your assessment and reflection, you'll see where the system is needed. So you ask yourself a few simple questions. What tasks drain me every week? And we already know most of those, right?
All those
Where
lots of
do I
meetings.
lose time? Because in an 8-10 hour day, you want to make sure you are using every minute and every second,
Mm.
with clarity and construction, with structure. I'm sorry. What keeps slipping through the cracks? Very important part. And trust me, your body already knows the answer. It already knows the answer, and it's showing it through your nonverbal and sometimes your verbal cues.
Mm.
So let's try that checklist and see how it works for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crystal?
And you're talking about that checklist. It needs to be simple and repeatable, right? So
Exactly.
if I send it on to someone, they can know exactly how to do it, the way you want to do it, because that consistency helps too. And the system doesn't need to be complicated. You don't have to have, okay, we got this, and here. We're going to add this to here. We got to go this process. No, no, no. The simpler it is, the more usable it is. Because I know if I have 95 steps to do, it's not getting done. I
Nope.
might get to the top 3 and like, okay, look, I need to find a better way to get
Yeah,
things done. So for me,
absolutely.
the
Yeah.
simpler the better. I can still
Yes.
be creative, but I don't have to make it so complicated that I am dreading using it. So
Mm-hmm.
I want you to think about creating a checklist, right?
Mm-hmm.
It might be like a 3-step flow. That's me. I get to the first 3 steps and I'm like, okay, that's all I need. But then
Right.
we talked about, being the queen of sticky notes. That would be me. I love a sticky note, especially the colorful ones. I'm like, oh, this one for this one, but that's my system. So I have like 3 different colors, and I'm
Right.
like, okay, this one is for
Yeah.
this one is for this, and this one is
Right.
for this. Got it. Or I have
Right.
a template,
Mm-hmm.
but I also have a weekly routine. I have
Mm-hmm.
to have my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday written out for me. Like, okay, Crystal,
Mm-hmm.
this is what you're doing, but it keeps me structured, it keeps me together, and it keeps my
Mm-hmm.
routine flowing. And then
Yes.
another thing that I found beneficial is that shared folder.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have
Mm-hmm.
that shared structure folder, you can spread
Mm-hmm.
that to the team. Everybody knows where we are, what's been
Mm-hmm.
checked off, and how to keep it flowing without always just kind of, again, improvising and adding your own thing to it. So the
Yeah,
simplest system, it changes everything.
I
Can I
agree.
interject really quickly here too?
Yeah.
Sure.
Something to also think about as we're talking about, like, you as the leader having to make all the decisions in developing your system. You can also include your team,
Mm-hmm.
because the system that
Absolutely.
you are creating may not make sense to them.
Right.
And so
Mm-hmm.
they should be a part of whatever that 3-part step, because to me it makes sense, but them in the execution of it, they're like, either why do I have to do all of that when we could
Right.
just do A and C,
Right.
right? Or they'll be like, yeah, I tried that, but it got really clunky. And so, but if we could do it this way, because they may have a way also. And
Yeah.
so you as the leader being willing to hear from your team of what of the system is working and what's not would be a game changer.
That way I modify my
Mm-hmm.
Post-it notes.
I love that.
I love that too.
They might have a digital post-it note, right?
Ooh.
So post-it
Mm.
note could still work,
Ooh.
but for them having the actual paper, they're like, but
Yeah.
oh, you
Right.
get like Trello or something like that, and they're like, there's my post-its right there, and I can move it
Mm-hmm.
digitally. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
See?
But you talk about it.
Yeah.
Communication trees.
Yeah.
Yes.
Communication is consistency is everything.
Yes.
So you want to be consistent with your communication. Okay. Every leader needs an email template, a meeting rhythm, a clear way to track your decisions, and predictable expectations for response times. Do not, as a leader, don't text your team at 10 p.m. unless it is an emergency. Somebody better be very, very ill. Don't do that. And if you do that, if you're texting them to say, hey, I'm out, I have a family emergency, I won't be in tomorrow, do not expect these people to respond.
Right.
That's all I have to say.
Okay. Thank you, Pastor.
Oh, and also, as a leader, I will say this. I always have an agenda for every meeting that I have. I put that agenda out at least the morning of or the day before.
Yes.
So they get some time to answer questions. And that way your meeting won't be taken over. Okay.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah. It was so essentially structure is creating the steadiness. Right?
Yeah.
Like the more sound your structure is, the more steady your workflow and your team will be. So, systems should honor your identity, and it shouldn't like override it or take over. And if that's happening, then you might want to reflect on, is this really working for me or not? And so if you are a reflective type person, such as I am, then you need to build in time and where you're able to think creatively, think outside of the box, which is going to lead to creating the pathway of where your team is going. If you are strategic in nature, then building in windows where you have time to plan and lay all of that out. If you are a relational type leader or person, then you need to create opportunities for you to have touch points with people to be able to check in, right? Your system should amplify your strength. It should not like shut everything down and make it harder.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
When you talk about your systems, they give you that structure, right? And that gives you the ability to lead without being overwhelmed.
Yes, they actually do. And they also can calm your nervous system. And they help you make decisions from clarity, not pressure. And that's important.
Yes.
That's right, Sean. And when they make your team more consistent and your leadership more confident.
Consistency
and confidence
equals confidence.
Now, how about that?
Take that in for a minute. I like that.
Write that down. Take it in.
I appreciate
it. You say
Clock taker.
Yeah, I was like, where those fans at?
Look, y'all, as always, we want to thank you for joining us at the Becoming Table Talk. And this week, we have some questions that we want you to reflect on, okay? Where would one small system remove the biggest stress for you?
Wow. Yeah.
Because the right system is not going to limit you, but it's going to free you. It's going to liberate you.
Absolutely.
And remember, as always, we're doing this thing together. You're not alone, but we are becoming together. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.